Hey guys, so I'm in the car and I was supposed to go live. Well, not live, I was supposed to upload a oh, let me put this on Do Not Disturb. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So I was supposed to do a like pre-recorded, edited, all fancy type of video. That was last week. And so last week I was out of town. I was actually in Florida, but it was for business, so it wasn't really anything like a vacation. But the point was that I was supposed to do something, supposed to do it, and I literally did not have time. It was just so much, honestly, more work than it was anything relaxation focused. And so, I was like, you know what? I told myself today, I was like, you know what? about to get in the car. Let me just do the video. Right, so instead of me it being edited and fancy, if I told you guys I was doing this video, let me just do this video, right? That's always been my issue, is that like sometimes I have this perfection syndrome, and like it needs to be this way because I'm trying to build up my channel a certain way. And I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, they need to get this information. So whatever way they get it, as long as I give you guys this info, y'all gonna be good, right? So we're gonna talk about really quickly. You guys know every single time I say really quickly, it's never really quickly, right? Anyway, today we're talking about the 3 things you need to do before you do pre-orders. So I want to make sure that I'm showing up at least once a week for the next couple of weeks. We're going to try to do this, where I'm going to give you guys straightforward strategies on the business side, like getting the stuff ready to go. And this is more from a marketing standpoint, what we're going to be talking about today. Hey guys, hey to everyone who's joining. We're going to talk about this more from a marketing standpoint, and then I'll share some announcements at the end. Okay. Before I get started, it is important for me to announce Launch on a Budget has been sorry, enrollment has opened for Launch on a Budget. If you don't know what Launch on a Budget is, everyone kept on emailing me. I got emails, I got inboxes. People were asking me, you did a course for like really expensive planner and journal businesses. When are you going to do a course for low budget? And so I did. You guys asked, it is here. So Launch on a Budget is $97. There's a code for 20% off, which puts it at like $77. And I have to check how many codes are left. I did 20 codes, and I saw it may have been four, because two people just bought seats like between like the past 2 hours. So there may only be like five. I have to see how many codes are actually left with 20%. The code ends on the 23rd. And then after the 23rd, I'm doing a 10% code. We're only doing 50 seats. So I'm doing like 20 at 20% off, 20 at 10% off, and the last will be, well, honestly, until the seats fill up, which is at 50 seats. So if you want to join the course, this course is going to be a breakdown of my $500 planner and journal workbook, right? So it's going to be a deep dive into basically how to launch this kind of business on a budget. So I try to make a course that wasn't too expensive. It's $100, but you get a discount off to teach you the business of launching on a budget. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the workbook, and then I'm teaching you on, okay, if I only had $500 total, how would I do email marketing? Because that is a whole class. Okay. Like, how do you do email marketing for free? Okay. How do you maximize when you do have limits? Because, free email marketing accounts have limits, so you can only reach a certain number. How do you do free with influencers? How do you do free with, like, so if I only had $500, how would I apply that to how many books, how many planners or journals Genesis would you order? How would you do your marketing with no budget? How would you? So the course, if the workbook is like the first step, because the workbook is only $30. So I can only teach you so much. The course is like Genesis. If you only have $500, honestly, or even up to $2,000, because it really doesn't impact the budget that much, which I may share at the end of this video. What would you do with the money? So the workbook teaches you how I suggest to divide it out, but the course is going to actually break down for each section in the workbook how I would do everything, okay, with a small budget. So the course opens up July the 1st, but the way I'm doing is that all the seats will be pre-sold before the course opens. So that's only open to those who have enrolled. So if you want your seat, let me know in the comments, and I will give you the coupon link to get the 20% off. It ends on the 23rd. I'm going to tell you guys something before we jump into this teaching today. If you don't need it, don't get it. I don't need your money. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's the truth. I have my own businesses. I don't do this because I need your money. Okay, this channel just happened to start popping off, and now I'm teaching people, but I don't need your money. So you only invest, and this is, I know a lot of gurus don't say this kind of stuff because gurus will tell you, oh yeah, you need it, oh yeah, you should get it. No, I'm not the kind of person. If you are someone who, in your opinion, honestly, you are not focused yet to really like focus on the content, make the most of the class, don't get it. Buy it when you're ready. And you may say, well, what if it won't be a discount off? I'm telling you, $20 off is not going to make the difference, because if you're not focused, you're not going to make the most of the investment. So wait until you can watch the content, you can sit down, go through it, because I've seen so many people, including myself, you'll buy stuff and you don't even use it. I've bought courses I bought like 2 years ago, never used them. It was a waste of money. So only buy it if you're interested. So let me know in the comments if you want it. But let's jump into this, because this is something I'm going to break down even further into the Launch on a Budget course. But I want to give you guys some free strategies. So if you have your notebooks, grab your notebooks, okay? And we're going to be talking about the 3 things you need to do before pre-orders. The first thing, you may have heard me teach this, but the first thing is that it needs to first be made to sell. One of the biggest problems, and I share this in today's email. If you are not getting my emails, go to joinprinceschool.com and join the email list right there on the homepage. One of the problems with pre-orders before pre-orders is that a lot of times people did not make a product to be sold, which makes it really hard for pre-sales because people don't want to buy it. Or they're called what I call sympathy purchasers. Sympathy purchasers are people who they're like your friends. They follow you on social media and they just want to support you. They will never ever use the product. They're never ever going to actually use it in their life, but they'll buy it and then they'll take the package, put it somewhere in their office or somewhere in their house, and it's just going to collect dust. So you want real customers who actually will use the product. And the first thing that you want to do before you do any pre-order is you want to make sure that it's actually a product that's made to sell. Now, what do you mean by that? In other words, it's a product that is made for the lifestyle of the person. This is really, really important, because when you go to market a product, which we're going to talk about number 2, when you go to market a product, remember that it's a product. It's not just an idea in your head. It's not just like, oh, I wanted to make this planner or journal, so I made it. Well, and then you tell me, just now I want to sell it. Well, did you make it to sell, or did you make it because you just wanted to make something? Got it? Those are 2 different things. Because the first way is that when you make a planner or journal, a lot of times you're making it for you. Got it? But when you sell it, you're making it for the consumer. Got it? And sometimes your needs may not be the consumer's needs. Like sometimes I've seen people make a planner journal and it was made just for their life, because it wouldn't apply to anybody else's life. Like it's made for you because you have, like, let's say I saw someone make a mom planner one time and it was made for her 5 kids. So it had slots for 5 children. Well, you can't sell that as a mass product because not everyone has 5 kids. Right? So you may need to make it in a way where they can kind of fill in the blanks accordingly. But my point is that the first question you need to ask yourself is, did I make this for the consumer or did I just make this for me? Because a lot of times when I get on consultations, one of the things that happens during coaching calls is that when I sit down and I talk to you about your planner journal idea, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And usually it's kind of like to pull everything out of you to make sure that you're making this for sale. Got it? Because I'll get on calls and they're like, you know what? I did not think about that. Oh, I didn't think about that either. Oh, that's a good point. Because again, did you make it for the consumer? Did you make it for yourself? That's the first thing. Before you do pre-orders, make sure, is this a product for sale? Okay. Do I see this happening where the person can take this and use it in their everyday life? So this is why too, before you do pre-orders, you want to really think about, okay, is the spacing enough? We talk about layout sometimes and things like that, but you really got to think things out. Like I'm talking about, I talk about this, you really got to sit down and say, okay, is this enough space? Okay, is this too small? Okay. Am I putting too much on the page? Okay. Is someone really going to do this every single day? Am I giving them too many activities to do every single day? Because as I told you guys before, you can turn a planner journal into homework where people feel like they have 30 tasks to do before they start their day. And in your mind, you're like, this is a great idea. I would definitely sit down. But I mean, not everyone has the time that you may have, right? So you want to make sure, again, the first thing is, before I even take anything to pre-orders, is it sellable? In other words, is it made to sell? Okay. The second thing goes with that, which is, am I going to highlight the value for, well, for this is what I call. So the first point is that it's made to sell. The second thing is, does it have lifestyle impact? I want to pull it. That's really the, does it have lifestyle impact? Let me explain what that means. Lifestyle impact is a word that I use, which I will talk about in the Launch on a Budget course, which is where when you go to do pre-orders, right, you are now opening up the doors for people to take this product and put into their lives. And so one of the things that you'll have to do, which I'm going to do in Launch on a Budget, which is I'm going to give you guys some homework, which is to work on your marketing strategy. And in your marketing strategy, one thing you have to do is show value for them to use this product every day. Usually, planners and journals are what we call lifestyle products. People are using them on a daily or at least every other day basis, minimum. Okay. People usually use their planners throughout the whole entire day, or at least the start and end of their day. Okay. So they're touching this product multiple times. And you want to make sure, just like I said in the first one, which is it a sellable product? The second thing is you want to make sure that it actually has impact for a lifestyle. The best planners and journals, I don't care what anyone says, it becomes a part of their lifestyle. It could be the most simplest product, like for instance, the Day at a Glance planners, which don't have any frills to them, unisex for anybody. You can buy them right from Staples, right? You want to make sure that you're showing lifestyle, right? So even though it may not have any frills, right? The point is that you can still, you need to put it into the lifestyle of the person. We talked about this in the last video, how to sell during COVID-19. Lifestyle. So in your copy, in your marketing text, I'm just looking at the comments, okay, where are you talking about lifestyle? Where are you talking about how this will change how they live? Because it should have impact. Because remember, you're in a world where everyone's selling planners and journals. But remember, it's not saturated because not a lot of people are selling crappy ones. They don't make any sense. They aren't laid out right. They aren't designed well. So you don't really have too much competition. You have to figure out, how does this impact? So this planner is going to help me do what? How is it going to transform how I plan my day? How is this journal going to help? What will this journal do for me? Will it help me to release stress? Will it help me to uncover, these things inside my life? Is it going to help me to restore my relationship with my mother? Is it going to help me? Like, what is it going to actually help me to do? A lot of times we're like, look at this pretty thing, and we just like list a few things. No, bring me into the mindset. Like, what is going to actually do? It needs to be a lifestyle impact product. You guys got that? And I'm going to answer questions in a second. The third thing, I want to be quick, is you got to build the hype. So the first thing is you got to make sure that it's made to sell, okay? The second thing is that it has to have lifestyle impact. This is not just, let me just, put a cute cover on something and I'm all about, there's a whole business behind people selling planners and journals with online pages and cute covers. Okay, so it's a whole business. I'm not knocking that. But for those of you who are selling where like you have original content inside the planner or inside the journal, and you want to build like this actual like brand, where you've created this kind of system that people live or operate, then that's really who I'm talking to. So you want to make sure again that it has lifestyle impact, okay? And that's actually how you build a company. You build a company when all of your products have lifestyle impact and they're not just something to sell, okay? The third thing is you got to build the hype. This is where most people fall short, okay? Is that they just announce, oh, we have a product. Here it is. Go buy it, okay? But you never built the hype. Hype is marketing. Okay, so before you even go to pre-orders, you need a hype strategy. You need a hype marketing strategy. And actually, in Launch the Budget, I'm actually giving you a one-page hype strategy marketing budget, not marketing plan. Okay, and it's basically teaching you how in 4 weeks to create a hype plan. Okay, because what happens is that people ride on the momentum that you provide. Let me just say that people ride on the momentum that you provide. And one of the biggest things that entrepreneurs have to give, especially when you're doing a business where it's B2C, where like, your focus is on like building an online following, doing all that kind of stuff, is your energy. That is what you will sacrifice the most, because outside of making a product and spending all the time and making a product, once you get done, you got to sell it. And for most people, that's where they fall short. It's not making a product, it's selling it. It's the fact that you now have to give all this energy to get people excited, and you spend all this energy making the product, and now you got to come on the front side. See, you have the back end of your business, and you have the back end is your operations, product development, research, building up all your strategies, right? Then the front end is sales. marketing, okay, promotions, networking, connecting, right? It's like there's two ends of business. And so a lot of times, as especially if you're a creative, you love the back end, but that front end, okay, so your front end is basically, okay, now all, lights, glitter, shine, you got to get them to love the product. You got to talk about it. You got to highlight it. It's going live. It's doing connections. You're working with influencers, running ads. Like, that's the work. And I saw someone have a comment about ads, and I'll make sure I answer your question. So that's the thing, you have to build up hype. So you have to figure out, okay, let's say, this is why I tell people 6 months minimum to run this project, right? I just sent an email about that today. You want to give yourself at least 6 months. Why? Because you don't just want to come out and sell it. You have to have you really want to do a marketing strategy. So I always recommend, let's say for instance, you are done your product by the 3rd or 4th month, okay? You want to use your 5th or 6th month to go hard in the paint. And if you buy the workbook, I kind of lay it all out. But you want to go hard in the paint. And this is, again, this is before pre-orders. Pre-orders are like before the product is actually fully released. Got it? So what you want to do is you want to do the following things. As I say, you want to build up anticipation. You also want to run behind the scenes marketing. Behind the scenes, like letting people know this is what's coming down the pipeline. Got it? We've been working behind the scenes. We're 4 weeks away. We're 3 weeks away. And it's not just saying you're 4 weeks away, but show us what 4 weeks away looks like. Show us what 3 weeks away looks like. Got it? Now remember, all during this time, you should be building up your follower base. Got it? So it should not be where you're talking to empty people. Remember what I teach. Matter of fact, the very first section, does anyone, I mean, we'll see. Maybe someone will comment this because I'm not going to say it. But if you buy my workbook, does anyone remember what the very first section is? What the very first section is? Let me see if anyone watching knows if you have my workbook, what is the very first section? Launch, and then there's a blank word, I'm not going to say it, but launch something. Okay, that is the very first thing I tell you to do. I don't tell you to go make your product first. I don't tell you to launch your website first. I tell you one specific thing to do first, and that is the most important thing. And hopefully someone who's either watching this or maybe watching the replay will fill in the blanks. But there's one thing I tell you to do, because if you don't do that very first step before you even make a product, when it comes time for pre-sales, you are going to be dragging paint. Okay. And what I mean by that is that too, now remember, it's important for me to say this, okay, is that you can run ads. Okay. You can run ads. But remember, even if you don't run an ad, you still need this one thing. Okay, because the thing about ads are a way for you to actually get customers without even having to, do organic growth. But the point is that you still have to build. No matter, even if you get ads, you still got to build this. It's the word is, I'm going to say it. The word is community, which is from your email list. But community includes, your social media followers at the core, your email list. When you do your Facebook ads, right? A lot of times, especially if you're running a product ad, you're running it usually for people to actually buy the product. But one of the things that I recommend is that before you even do that, run a like-based campaign. That is to actually build up the exposure of the brand before the product even comes. Then run a retargeting campaign for pre-orders off of the people who interacted with your like campaign. Okay, because if you think about it, what I would do is I would run and actually I'm going to talk about this stuff in the launch on a budget class, because if you only have a certain amount of money, you got to be strategic. Got it? So you first have to build up brand awareness, and then when you do your pre-orders, that's when you can launch that, because product ads are really hard to run, especially if two things, especially if number one, you did not do any brand awareness, number two, the product isn't super cheap, and then number three, if when you're doing your product, especially when you're doing your ad, you're struggling with copy. So there's a couple things that make these things work. But the first thing is you got to do a like. But you want to first build brand awareness. You do not want to just come out and it's like, hey, everybody, because it's going to be really hard. You're going to struggle with those ads, and ads can need money. You want to make sure, again, that you're building up the hype. So let's go over 3 points. Number one is it made to sell. Okay, make sure it's sellable. We're going to be talking about this in the launch on a budget. Again, the launch on the budget is for those of you who have below $2,000 to build your business. Okay. Number two is we're going to be talking about, but in here we talked about lifestyle impact. The product has to impact someone's lifestyle. Okay. Now, if you're creating a product that doesn't have any like original copy of yours, where it doesn't have any content inside, it's just line page or something like that. Okay, we're not talking about that. I'm talking about people building niche-based products, because niche-based products are actually how you build a brand. Honestly, it's through niche-based products, or some kind of focus, especially right now, because the planner journal business is not necessarily saturated, but it's being consumed by a lot of people just launching random products. I mean, a lot of them don't make sense, but they're just launching random products. So in order to really kind of make your mark is through a niche-based product, a planner and journal. In other words, it's a planner journal that focuses on a particular way of life or a focus. So like a mom-based planner, like first year moms, that's a niche-based product. So like it's a first year mom journal, first year mom planner. That's niche based, got it? Or a planner for fashion lovers, got it? Or a planner for, let's say it's like an ethnicity based planner. Like for instance, there was I saw a really unique planner. It was for, what was it for? It was, oh, this was unique. I remember right. I'll make sure I have it right. So it was basically like My First Chef. So it's basically like for a person. I gotta see. I have to find this thing. I saw it somewhere. Basically, it's like for beginner chefs. Like you barely know how to cook, and you want to learn how to like track meals you made. Got it? So it was a planner, but more of like a tracker, kind of the same thing. But it's like where you could plan your meals and you could write down what you cook, your recipe ingredients. It's kind of like a make your own cookbook kind of thing. But for people who were like kind of like first time cookers. Got it? So like that's very niche based. Got it? Now, again, the reason why that says this, so it's easier to sell it in some ways because it speaks to a particular group of people, but it's not too niche to where it's like it's only made for 5 people in the world. Got it? So again, these are the things that I believe people need to do before you do pre-orders. Now, again, these are just 3 basic things. I know there's a lot of other things, but I'm going to keep those for the course because I want to honor those who invested. But again, for free, so I'm giving you number one, made to sell. Okay. Number two, lifestyle impact. I mean, honestly, you can take these 3 things and run with these 3 things. The third thing is that you want to make sure you're building up the hype and anticipation. Do you have a marketing strategy for getting people excited? Are you using influencers? Are you using outward promotion networking to get the word out that pre-orders are even coming? The product is coming down the pipeline, right? You don't just want to pop out with the product. So are you using external connections to announce? Are you going to be doing press? Some kind of PR to get the word out. Are you going to, one of the things that a lot of companies do is that they do guest articles where like they will reach out to publications to write an article that connects to like their product. A lot of software companies do this, by the way. But if you have a planner journal, you could write a lifestyle article. Like, let's say, for instance, you have a journal that's about, mother-daughter healing. I'm just making something up, healing those kind of relationships. Or let's say you have like a therapy-based journal. So maybe, you go on therapy-based sites and you write articles like, as a guest writer, you say, hey, my name is da-da-da, I'm from the company, and I would love to, write for your, platform, if you have any slots for guest articles about this particular type of content. My company is releasing this kind of product, and so we're looking to reach out to publication platforms to produce content, right? And if you think about a lot of these platforms, they're looking for content. I mean, that's what they need to feed the machine. So you can reach out to platforms that are looking for that type of content. Got it? And you can do it that way. I mean, there's so many different things you can do. Okay. But the most important thing is that, again, that we do these 3 things. So again, scalable product that's made to sell. Number 2, lifestyle impact. And number 3, behind the scenes, build up the hype. Any questions? I saw a few. Hold on. I saw a few questions. I'm running ads. Natasha says I'm running ads for my pre-orders, but not sure how long the pre-order should last when people wouldn't buy it, if that makes sense. So pre-order should last, and this, I think I put this in the workbook, 30 days. So here's the thing. So pre-order should be 30 days from the date it actually releases. Okay, that's usually how long it should be. You don't want it to be where it's too long. Pre-orders are kind of like a soft opening, really, like, a soft opening, but it shouldn't be too long. So really it should be 30 days from the actual day it releases. And the strategy of pre-order is that usually you're offering a discount from the actual full price. Okay, so if the planner journal is like, let's say originally, $39.97, you're offering it at a pre-order discount of, let's say, $29.97. That's $10 off. So you better make sure you have some good margins, maybe a little bit too much. But the point is that it's a discount. The thing about pre-orders that if no one is buying if no one's buying your planner, I should probably do a video on what if no one buys my planner, because that'd probably be a good video to talk about, kind of problem areas to spot. No one is, because that's something a lot of people have. That's actually a question I get a lot. Genesis, I did this planner, paid all this money, no one's buying it. So if no one's buying your planner, usually if you go in the workbook, the first thing is, do you have a community? If no one's buying, it's because no one's in the room. And what I usually say is there's a couple of things. Number one, if you're running ads, let's say first, you never did build a community and you're using ads as your way to get the word out there. Usually if you're running ads, you want to first make sure that the copy is speaking to this kind of goes back to what we said about showing value, lifestyle impact. Does the product, number one, is the product made to sell? Okay. Does it have sellable features and benefits? And then number two, does it show lifestyle impact? Are people seeing the interior of the product? Are they seeing, how this could work in their life? Got it? Is the copy that you're running with the ad, the copy is the actual ad, the actual text that is with the ad. Does it speak directly to them? Maybe you need to run split tests, where you're running two different ads and they have two different types of copy, maybe with a graphic or video, a photo, maybe one with a video, because videos work better than photos nowadays. Video ads are 10 times better. So, one of the best action ones are Set and Soul. I'm not a fan of them themselves, but I am a fan of how they do their ads. I'm not really a big fan of the product, but I am a fan of the ad. And so if you look at theirs, they flip through it. And so it gives people an idea of what's inside, and what's included. Because when you think about it, that's really what people are looking for. What does it look like? Right. And when it's a video, people can actually see it and they can actually see, okay, this is a real product. Got it. But then too, the ad that runs with it is important. And then of course, giving people enough of a discount to where they feel like it. With ads, you got to run discounts. Because here's the thing about ads. Have you ever seen an ad where they were promoting a full price? Where it was no discount? No. Most ads, it's either for something that's free, it's like a funnel, or it's going to be for a discount. Got it? So ads are not for full price. So you got to make sure, number one, are you offering enough for them to bite? Is it a biteable offer, right? When you're running an ad, it has to be a biteable offer, okay? Especially when it's a product ad, because with a product ad, it's not a lead gen ad. So it's not an ad where they're getting something for free. It's an ad where they're paying. So if I'm paying, you got to give me something worth biting. Does that make sense? You got to make sure there are a couple things you want to ask with that. And then two, when they go to the website, making sure that you're highlighting features and benefits. I would definitely get some testimonials from people who maybe have flipped through it, who can give you some testimonials as proof. And try to get pictures of different people holding the planner. There's a lot of different ways to market this, but you definitely, I would say, if you have no sales, the people you do know, to at least get maybe at least the first 5. Okay, I would start, at least, I always say start organically and then do ads. Does that make sense? Does that help you in any way? I'm not sure if it does, but I always say I start with people around me, and then I run the ads next. So here's what I do. I run to people around me to grab testimony, to get some purchases coming through the door, right, on the site. And then that helps me get some testimonials on the site. Got it? And then from there, I then take that and then I run it, because now I have some social proof of sales. Got it? So that's really important. And also too, are you networking? Are you talking with other people in different industries to release more information about your planner? You got to go, what are you doing to get the word out besides ads? Okay? Because remember, ads are eating up your money. So what are you doing besides that? So these are things you got to ask yourself. Okay. Any questions? Am I missing stuff? I'll make sure. Okay. Are there any questions before I go? Because I think I pretty much covered what I want to cover. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Giveaway is happening this week. I'm giving away a free coaching session, which is worth $197, $200 worth of my time, and my mind. So that's going to happen this week. A video will go up. It'll say giveaway, 9K giveaway, and then I will have instructions on how you can enter. Okay. That's it. If you would like a link to get 20% off of Launch on a Budget, remember, Launch on a Budget is for those of you who are launching a planner journal business that's below $2,000 worth of, yes, Let me tell you this. So this is important. Get the workbook first, because the workbook is it's a follow-up of the course. I am not, this is important. I gotta state this. Some people are like, I don't need to get the course, I can just get the workbook. Nope, you need the workbook. I'm gonna tell you why. The workbook is the foundation of what I'm teaching. And the workbook is what you can work after the course. Okay. So the workbook is a 6-month plan layout with 8 sections. And that's what I'm basing everything off of. I personally would get the workbook because the workbook has stuff like the budget, how it would do each one, right? And so I'm not going to be recovering stuff that's in the workbook. Okay, that's important. And so it's like, for me personally, I think you should get the workbook and the course and you work them together as one. Because what's going to happen is I'm teaching out of the workbook. If that makes sense. I'm going to actually, when I do these videos, I'm going to be with, and I'm going to say, okay, guys, we're going to turn to this section. So it's going to be kind of odd. I mean, you don't have to, but it's going to be like, wait, what? And I'm going to say, okay, so in this, and we're going to turn, I'm going this section, we're going this page, and I'll be breaking everything down into these additional videos. So you don't have to have the workbook, but having the workbook will help you work out of it. Because if you get that workbook, it's really good because it's going to help you kind of see the overall plan. The workbook, in my opinion, is what I wish I would have had when I would have done my planner journal. It didn't exist. Here's my thing. So I found all these blogs and articles that talk about what I teach, but it didn't put everything in one place. Like, I had 30 articles here, 30 videos here. I had all this, and it was just, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one, but it had all this scattered info. And I'm just like, I need all this stuff in one place. It'd be nice if somebody could just put everything in one place. So I decided to do that. So that is what the my $500. And let me answer this question, because I got this question live. Someone was like, Genesis, can you do one for an $1,000 budget or a $2,000 budget? Let me share this with you, and I hope this answers someone's question. The difference between another 500 or even another 1,000 does not really change the budget that much. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because if you're not doing mass ordering, which is like, that's like Print Boss, the Prayer Journal Boot Camp that I've done, which we're reopening those very soon. If you're not going like overseas or in-state to do like, a $2,500 minimum order for planners and journals, and you're doing print on demand, it's not like having a little bit more money actually like gives you more benefit. I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of times that extra money is going to be eaten up in a couple things. Number one, usually you will have, the more money you have, usually you'll have someone who can do the design a little bit more better than you doing it yourself or something like that, right? So like, for instance, if I had, let's say I had a $1,500 budget versus a $500 one, it wouldn't really change what I would spend the money on, because it would just be more money to put into those areas, which are like, for instance, the website. If I have more money and I don't have to do it myself, then I may pay somebody $500 or $1,000 to build the website. So that's already $1,000 gone out of the website. And someone may say, well, I don't want to spend all that. But remember, the more money you have, usually that means that you can get a professional to do things for you. Got it? And also, too, the more money you have, usually that needs to be put towards an ad budget or influencers. So that money is going to be eaten up. So a lot of people are like, just, but what if I have, $2,000? Maybe can you write a workbook for that? Honestly, you need to go back and use the $500 budget module and just add more money to those sections. That's really it. So for people asking me, listen, let me just be very realistic, okay? I have 5 new clients coming down the pipeline, okay, for overseas clients. And we just had one client, which I talked about before. She's gonna be coming on very soon to talk about her planner. She paid plus shipping almost near $3,000 just for the planners themselves. For the planners themselves, okay? Does not include everything else that has to be built out. We built out the website, but it does not include everything else, the influencers, the ads. That's just $3,000 just for 500. Just for 500. Just for 500. Now, she's going to be getting back. Now, the profit margin is extremely healthy, because if you look at it, she's paying like, under $4 unit cost, and she's flipping them for $40. So the unit cost is very healthy. But my point remains is that a lot of people think that by having just a little bit more extra money, that somehow, that does a lot. It does not. The money, guys, money goes fast. I'm sure anyone can testify that for your personal life. When you have bills and expenses, money goes fast. So an extra 500 or 1,000 really does not change the needle that much. Okay. So if you are, I'm just being clear, if you actually, honestly, it's not even below, honestly, I would say if you have a budget below 3,000, 4,000, honestly, you need to stick towards the pre-order plan that I give you. Okay. People say, but just, you don't have to agree with me. You can do your own thing, but take it from me, because I'm going to tell you why I would tell you take it from me, because you're launching a business. So you can't DIY one thing, go professional here, then DIY this, professional here. Some things, first, like if you file a trademark and you get an actual, an intellectual property lawyer, you're looking at between $800 to about $1,500 just for the trademark. We have not even talked about business licensing or filing, haven't talked about setting up certain things. We haven't even talked about, like, when you think about when you're running a business thing, the money's going to go fast. Okay. We haven't talked about, you get to file your copyright, which is not, honestly, not that expensive. Are you going to be buying your ISBN from Bulker? That costs money too. So by the time we get done, some of these other things, your budget's going to go fast. Does everybody get that? Okay. I got to just make this clear, because people really think somehow having a little bit extra cash, no, it's money's going to go fast, because you're building it to win. I do not suggest spending money on anything and you don't want to win. If you don't want to win, it should be a hobby. It should be something you do on the side to give yourself pleasure and you don't have any expectations. Okay. But if you want to actually get this in the hands of people and you want to actually make money from this, it takes money to make money, but it also takes intentionality. So you have to make sure, again, like, you're focused. Okay, this money goes here for this purpose. This money goes here for that purpose. This money goes here for that purpose. Got it? Okay. Any other questions? Because I think I pretty much answered. Again, if you want the course, let me know in the comments and I'll give you the link. Again, I'm not sure how many codes are left. I'm pretty sure maybe like 5, because I took a nap today after Sunday dinner, and I saw a couple people buy seats, and we were at 10 before I sent the email this morning. So we were at 10 coupon codes left, and that was like 10 o'clock this morning. So if I run it, like if 5 people say they want the code and we only have 4 seats left, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So what I will tell you is this: wait until the 10% code comes out, which will be on the 24th. Okay. And that's when you get that seat, guys. What did I just say? So we have giveaways happen this week. Giveaways happen this week. What else happened this week for y'all? If you're not on the email list, go to joinprintschool.com. Make sure I miss anything else. Oh, and I will be sending out via email what video I'm going live with this week. So this week I'm going to pick a topic. I got a lot of topics from you guys, from just emails, different things like that. So I'm going to be picking a topic to talk about this week. It will be pre-recorded. I'm going to sit down and pre-record. And more than likely, it's going to be talking about building your community, because that is a struggle point for many of you. It's going to be that or sales. Those are 2 things I definitely want to go live with this week. And I'm going to make sure that I create some kind of free resource for you guys. I haven't done one in a little bit. So I'm going to create a free resource that you can print out and put into your print school journal or binder, whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. I will see you guys later. Let me know if you need anything from me as far as in the comments. And giveaway happens this week. Someone's going to win a $197 worth of a coaching session with me. It will be pre-recorded. It will include, homework and things I want you guys to do. And yeah, one lucky winner will do it. I'm thinking about giving it to 2 people more than one. I was thinking about giving it to 2 people. I think I'm gonna give it to 2 people instead of just 1 person. I'm gonna do 2. I'm gonna do 2. Or should I do 3? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna cap it at 3 because I really want to be blessed. So we're gonna do 3 people. 3. That's my final answer. I'm gonna give away to 3 people, so that way more people will have a chance of winning. Okay, 3 people. And remember, I will be doing this at every 1,000 people we get. So don't feel bad if you can't get a win. Got it? I'm gonna do it every one, and we should be to 10,000 by the end of the summer. Okay. So 3 people. So guys, I'll see you guys later. Coupon, let me know in the comments and I'll send it to you.